Crazy Crab in the house, and today going to do my review on the movie I've been waiting for since Unbreakable, and that is the movie Glass, starring Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis. I'm going to go non-spoiler as long as I can and let you know when the spoilers begin. So, I've also seen Split, which is technically the second film in the franchise, and I enjoyed that film quite a bit. And I thought the new character, Kevin, and all his split personalities, I thought that was such an awesome character. Such a cool addition to the franchise, and made me really hyped up for Glass even more so, which I saw last night with bells on. I hadn't been that excited for a film since The Last Jedi. And how did I feel walking out? I gotta be honest, I was disappointed. And I felt similar, although to a much lesser extent because it was much less egregious, I felt similar to how I did with The Last Jedi. Very underwhelming. I did not like how some of the main characters were treated in this film, and I felt the attempt to subvert expectations failed, just as it did in The Last Jedi. And I'm going to get into all that, but I'm going to start with some positives here. The acting was on point. Samuel L. Jackson as Elijah, awesome. They brought back Spencer Treat Clark as Joseph, the little kid from Unbreakable, and I really appreciated that they didn't try to go hire some bigger name actor to replace him as the adult Joseph. They brought back the original kid. They brought back Elijah's mom. The continuity as far as the faces is on point. Then you got the characters from Split. Casey Cook, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, really good. And then probably the best performance has to go to James McAvoy as Kevin. Awesome in Split, awesome in Glass. The split personality, aka Patricia, aka Barry, aka Dennis, aka Hedwig, etc. So, great casting, good action scenes early on, and that's when after that it takes some time to get going, and that's cool because we're waiting for that big climax, which is supposed to be what it's all about in these movies. And it builds up the story pretty well, although there were plenty of, I thought, plot devices that were very convenient to the story and basically lazy, but I just dealt with that. That's not really what disappointed me about the film overall. We'll get to that, but there is a new main character that is this doctor played by Sarah Paulson. She plays a psychiatrist who deals with people who think they're superheroes, and she wants to help them realize it's just a delusion. They're actually just humans with some special gifts and abilities, but not superhuman. So she talks a lot, a little more than I'd prefer. Bruce Willis as David is good, but just not much screen time. He probably memorized his script over lunch one day. I mean, it's that minimal. And Samuel L., same way. Even though the movie's called Glass, this is supposed to be his movie. Unbreakable for Bruce, Split for James McAvoy, and Glass for Sammy, right? And not really, but it's fine. Okay, a lot of the shots, the angles, the sequences were all pretty good. There's no doubt about that. This director has talent. But you know what? Some of that's kind of expected. It's just like special effects in a big budget movie these days. No one's impressed by that. You have to provide a solid story with a big climax that really hits. And that's what I didn't feel in this movie. I felt clumsy, convenient dialogue, plot devices to move the movie along, and an ending that was completely unsatisfying. Key characters completely disrespected, intentional teasing of the viewer, trying to get us to expect one thing, to get something in our head, and then twist it around and shock us, which is actually okay if what you shock us with is just as cool or even cooler. Something like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that coming. That was freaking awesome. No. Instead of, oh, I didn't see that coming. That was dumb. The music kind of reminded me of Split. It was really good. It was suspenseful, but it never really gets over the top with that big moment when everything comes together. You're like, oh man. It's attempted, but for me, the big moment fails. When everything's supposed to come together and blow our minds, my mind wasn't really blown. So I felt that the big reveal was a disappointment. I felt it was a weak ending, and I'm going to get into the details in that momentarily. I'm not going to say after one viewing that I hate it and I'm never going to watch it again, because it was fun at times. And it's not the worst movie, but very disappointing. And I don't know if there's going to be any more. It doesn't seem like it. This seems like a logical ending to the trilogy with Unbreakable, and then Split bringing in a new character, and then this one bringing it all together. But it was not a satisfying way to end it for me. So that's how I feel about this movie. So I'm going to get into spoilers now. If you have not seen the film and you want to see it, turn off my video and come back later. So we have David, played by Bruce Willis. He is called the Overseer. And after literally bumping into Kevin, because when he bumps into people, he can see things. Kevin is the split personality guy. After bumping into him, he sees, okay, this is the guy who abducted these 4 cheerleaders. And so David, with the help of his son, is kind of his assistant, he's able to track down this guy's hideout. He gets in a big fight with him early on, which is the early action sequence that I spoke of. And it's a pretty cool way to kick things off. But they get arrested, and they get pretty easily subdued considering their freakish comic book strength. And they get taken to a psychiatric hospital where the doctor, Ellie, studies them and tries to convince them that they're just normal people. And she actually does a pretty good job of this because both David and Kevin seem to be kind of like thinking, maybe she's onto something here, which is kind of weird considering David has been doing what he's been doing for 19 years. I'm pretty sure he's beyond convincing, but she puts forth her case and she gets them thinking anyway. Meanwhile, Mr. Glass is there, but he doesn't talk much because he's heavily sedated, or he's pretending to be heavily sedated, which is what I gathered, and which is what ended up being the case. And when he finally breaks out and starts talking and planning with Kevin, Kevin, Patricia, the Beast, the 9-year-old Hedwig, etc. So it's really cool once he starts doing that. I love those scenes. Samuel L. is great. At that point in the film, I'm like, okay, it's been underwhelming so far. Things are about to go big time. So yeah, no, that doesn't happen. The plan that Mr. Glass puts into place seems really cool. Sick, man. I'm like loving the buildup as he takes over. He takes over the hospital. He outsmarts all the employees. He tells David, hey, there's this big event going on at the new skyscraper downtown, and I'm going to release the beast there, and I'm going to cause some other tragedies to occur, and everyone's going to die. What you going to do about it? That's basically what his plan is, because he knows David's going to come to the rescue, and that's his whole plan. At least that's what is being told to us. So he tells David, hey, I turned off, there's some water hoses rigged up in his room. I turned those off. So those were there to keep him contained. So now he's able to hopefully escape. But he tells him, you got to get through that big metal door there that obviously no human could get through. He does that intentionally because he knows David's going to break through that door because David is a superhero. So he's driving the point home that he's going to prove to the world that these superheroes exist, and something's going down at that skyscraper between David and the Beast. So things are heating up. But as this director loves to do, he's going to throw some twists in there. And what we think is going to happen is not really going to happen. So instead of a final scene at a skyscraper with the Beast climbing the building like crazy and David showing up with a massive fight there, and maybe David even falls off the building and he falls hundreds of feet and smashes into the concrete and he gets up. And people are like, what the freak? That would really prove it. But no. We're not getting that. Nothing like that. Instead, we get a little brawl in the front lawn of the hospital. And Mr. Glass outsmarting everyone by taking the basement to escape the hospital, which at first, when he does that, the doctor lady's like, oh, that's good. It gives us more time. He made a mistake by taking the basement. So yeah, anybody who's ever seen a movie is right now like, okay, obviously that was all part of his plan. We'll be hearing more about that basement soon. And sure enough, his plan was to take the basement. Why? Because there's security cameras down there, and he wanted to record the Beast beating up some guys. And he records that as well as some of the front lawn battles where David does some impressive things. He bends a little piece of metal. It's pretty cool. And yeah, so he streams all that to the internet secretly, or at least he streams it and records it. And that's the epic twist. That's how the movie ends, with people end up at the end looking at their phones watching this video. That's the epic twist. What? Like we don't see crazy special effects on our phones every day? Like, seriously, that actual video would get like 20 views in 2019. It's a freaking video. If Mr. Glass wanted to prove to the world superheroes exist, he should have gone through with the original plan and gone to that building. But no, they had to say, gotcha. Gotcha. What? And to add insult to injury, they killed off all 3 characters in the dumbest ways possible. Kevin gets shot in the stomach and just dies, like any human would die. He does go through his personalities first, but I thought maybe he would become the Beast and not die, proving he cannot be killed by a gunshot. No, he dies. Glass, and I know his bones are brittle. I know that's why he's called Glass, but Glass gets hit in the shoulder and jabbed in the stomach, and he's a goner. So he dies. and the main man, David, and I know his weakness is water. David gets killed by having his head shoved into a puddle of water, by one of the members of this secret society. This is another big, super crazy reveal. The doctor is part of this society. She actually knows that they're superheroes, but she needs to kill them now because it needs to be kept a secret. First, she was going to try to convince them that they're just human. Like, that's going to do the trick. And then we're fine. They'll never figure it out. But no, she decides that now they need to die. That didn't quite work out. So she has one of her men, whose face we never see, shove David's head into a puddle of water, and he dies. That's the big death scene. The most insulting and underwhelming death since Luke Skywalker. I don't even know who killed him. I don't know who that was. It wasn't Glass. It wasn't the Beast. It wasn't the woman. He didn't kill himself. Just some random dude from this society killed him. Some random dude killed the Beast. That was built up for 2 movies. Glass was killed by the Beast with a quick jab to the ribs, which I'm not saying that wouldn't do the trick. Obviously, if the Beast punches Glass in the stomach, it's probably going to kill him. But still, underwhelming, disappointing. I'm sorry. I do not subscribe to the theory that subverting expectations means good. It's only good if you come up with something good. These reveals were stupid. The deaths were weak. The final scene where the surviving 3 characters, the son, the girl Casey, and Mr. Glass's mom, all sit in a train station and watch people look at their phones, is stupid. Like, would anybody watching a video I uploaded, if Crazy Crab uploaded a video showing some guy bending what appears to be a piece of metal and some other guy running really fast like a beast, like a lion, and you saw some other scenes with some humans doing like seemingly impossible things, would anyone say, oh my God, oh my goodness, superheroes are real? No, you would not. It's 2019. You would say, wow, cool effects on this video. Thumbs up. No, the ending was so stupid. What a sad ending. What an insulting way to end this franchise, and an insulting way to kill the characters. I know a lot of people seem to have loved this movie. YouTubers I really like and respect seem to like it. I don't know this. I haven't seen their videos, but based on thumbnails, you see people with their hands in the air like, yes! I'm like, what? But I got to give my honest opinion. This movie was disappointing. And on a much smaller scale, Last Jedi type disappointment with this one. I'm giving it 5 Lucases out of 10. I may buy this one on Blu-ray just to finish the collection, and maybe there'll be an alternate ending on there that's better. So, I love Unbreakable. Split, I really like. I own both. I want to complete the collection, but what a disappointment. Glass. I was looking forward to it. Number 1 on my anticipated movies, and it was a fail. Epic fail for me. Let me know what y'all thought of Glass. Do you disagree? Let me know. Convince me why I'm wrong. I want to love this film, but did not love it. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'm Crazy Crab, and I'm gone.